What's up, everybody? Good morning. How's it going? It is Friday, 6:30 a.m. here on the West Coast. You can do the math for all the other places. That's it. Here we go. Man, shout out to all of you that have screaming babies all night and still wake up at 6 or 5 a.m. I think I'm just talking to myself, probably a few of you as well. I've got a lot to talk about today. I was feeling a little excited. There's some interesting things happening. I mean, excited. I'm not excited in the way where things are going well, but excited in the way that, there's certainly things happening. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. This week we saw that FTX, has a lot of tokens that they're allowed to sell now. So we'll look at that. I think it's 50 million this week, and then they can sell up to 100 million every week, and then they can go to a court and up it to 200 million a week or a month or something. We'll look at the article, or a article. Talk about that. Binance is in a bunch of hot water, a bunch of, they're just continuously bleeding talent or people or employees or whatever you want to call it. And some disturbing back and forth, redacted court filings that just make it not look good for Binance. Article yesterday, which we'll look at, connecting Tether with organized crime. Told you I was excited, guys. But and then there's just like a bunch of weird shit about China. We're going to look a little bit at China and crypto. Did the NSA create Bitcoin? This is what I live for, guys. And I have to say, by the way, that Algorand, if you are a Algorand fan, in my personal opinion, has had a good week. We'll also look at that. All right, let's check the chat and let's just dive in because, we don't have a ton of time. Binance is a... okay. I won't say that out loud, but if you want to know what they say, you have to go to YouTube. So if you're watching me on Twitter, you're going to have to head over to YouTube and join the troop in the chat. All right, so let's see what the troop's doing. Here we go. Captain Stryker, what's up? Hey, dudes. What's up, man? How you doing? Pedro, good morning. Brasilia Tantanta, good morning to you. Algo Wi-Fi is here. What's up? Shaq hand orange covering eyes. Don't mind me. I'm just checking out the YouTube emojis. There we go. Outsider, good morning. This chat runs on proof of imagination. Absolutely. If you guys don't know what pure proof of imagination is, then what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing? I'll teach you someday. Hilmar Live. What's the topic today? I just told you. It's a bunch of doom and gloom with a pep in my step. Outsider yesterday, CDDC hearing. Big algo news this week. Python integration. Python. Yeah. Angel of R is running sustained transaction event. Angel is doing a 10,000 transaction per second event. So I'm interested to see what results that yields. So much stuff, good stuff going on. Absolutely, man. Nice beaver. Thank you. I don't know what he means by that. Is it my face? I don't know. My beaver face. Hi, all. Hi, VJ Fred. VJ Fred from Gora Network. Are we online? We are online. Here we are. We're all online. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing. All right. Pedro, nope, not up. Win Coffee Cup. Okay, we clinking. Okay, Thune. Yep. I was a little late today. Sorry, guys. 5 minutes late. Just the good old days. I wanted you guys to feel the good old days. Kevin, good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you. What's up? Messina has me excited. M. Algo, you saw as you were waiting for me to come that Messina Bridge is a new friend of the ReCoop. They just launched a new liquid staking option in the Algorand ecosystem called M. Algo. It is a interest-bearing token. You can learn more about it. Maybe we'll look at it a little bit later. I'm splitting governance and folks in Messina. Good to have two options. There you go, 409. Here we go. Bruce, what's up? PWK, good morning. Alt Queen, good morning, Alt Queen. Nice to see you in here. Hilmar, Iceland, afternoon calling. Daffy in the house, what's up? Michael Norris, today is going to be epic. That's right. All right, cool. What if now, listen closely, what if FTX didn't sell? These are the questions. You know what they're not really going to be able to sell? is that FTT token. Can't imagine there's much liquidity. I think it was like 500 million. How much of it is FTT token that nobody should buy? If you're buying FTT token, I'm sorry. What are you doing? All right, guys, let's just dive in real quick. Let's see how the market opened. We'll go to CNBC. We'll run through some news. We'll look at some prices, and then we'll dive into the stuff that I mentioned earlier. Let's go. All right. We're going to share the screen. I do this annoying thing where I announce all the clicking that I do. It keeps me from making mistakes. And we all know how few mistakes I make. All right, here we go. CNBC, 409's favorite website where he trusts all the news. He's like, you know what? Why would they lie to me? Okay. All right. So let's go. CNBC. Okay, NASDAQ down over 100 points upon open. Stock fall Friday, but Wall Street is still headed for a winning streak. That ARM, the British chip maker, SoftBank. Oh, we got another strike. All right, we're all striking. Everyone's like, you know what? The people in the fancy office with the nice chairs and the big table are making far too much money. You guys are treating us like crap. Give us some money. Sorry, shouldn't have screamed. Like my entire family is sleeping and I'm in here screaming. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on from me screaming, but there we go. So they're on strike. Good luck. Okay, so I hope you get what you need. All right, ARM jumped 6% on its second trading day with valuation topping $72 billion. What could go wrong? IPO though, I mean, it's a chip maker. So I'm reading articles being like IPOs are back. Well, this has like been a highly anticipated IPO for a long time. I think that a lot of people, if you were playing in the stock game during the SPAC craze, everybody was, what's the word? Speculating that ARM might be a SPAC. It did not become a SPAC. It became an IPO, and it's done well because chips are important, and we haven't had enough. But it's still moving up. Okay, so enough of that. We're not going to click on it. The biggest downside, it doesn't matter. Ray Dalio says to hold cash temporarily, but don't buy debt and bonds. What you talking about, Ray? If anybody has seen his video on how money works, it's a good video. Amid mounting concerns over rising interest rates and inflation levels, Bridgewater Associates founder Ray Dalio said he prefers cash and does not want to own bonds. The billionaire investor pointed out that when debt accounts for a substantial share of a country's economy, the situation tends to compound and accelerate. That just sounds like debt in general, doesn't it? Dalio says the biggest mistake that most investors make is believing that markets that performed well are good investments rather than more expensive. All right, enough, Ray. All right. So there we go. Retired women likely to face financial curveballs, including one potentially life-destroying event. Is it gonna, if you're on crypto Twitter, this article, if you clicked on it, would be like, it's because they're not married and serving their man. God. I mean, look, a little more, personally, women don't have to quite fit into that role that crypto Twitter is selling hard. Oh, man. Or maybe it's just my feed because I'm stupidly engaged. I mean, I believe some of that, though, by the way. I do feel like we're sort of neutering the man over here in the States, probably elsewhere. Okay, enough of that. All right, let's go to Bloomberg. All right, United Auto Workers call unprecedented strike. Okay, we just read about that. There we go. Look at this man. Look at him. He has not had a good couple of years. He was the darling of the world, and Masayoshi Son has lost lots of money on his big bets. But he's all in on AI. So eventually he's probably going to turn around. All right, let's see. Or it's already turning around, I'm sure. He's going to be okay. I wouldn't worry about son. A crypto rabbit hole that leads to human trafficking. Oh, yes. Yes. Human trafficking. I mean, I'm sure it kind of can. But so can other things. Okay. These are the stories that they say are for me. China economy shows more signs of stability. 4 trillion triple witching event endangers stock market calm. Ex-Deutsche Bank banker poised to plead guilty to crypto fraud. Didn't Deutsche Bank just announce that they're going to custody crypto for institutions? China defense chief mystery adds to leadership. Whatever. Okay. Bitcoin is recoupling with tech stocks to the delight of crypto devotees. Okay. All right. I don't feel like there's anything else here that it's nothing standing out to me, is there? I know that Bloomberg did do an article on what's his face's Sam Bankman-Fried's parents, which has been something that's irked me, is that old daddy Bankman-Fried isn't getting the shine that he deserves for all the work that he did for FTX, but they really hid this article. So I think it came out recently. It's not even on their page anymore. I can look for it when I'm not online, and I'll read it myself. I haven't read it. All right, let's move on. Let's go to CoinDesk real quick. See if there's anything special that we should know. Yeah. Consensus is coming up. Bitcoin looks to be pushing down a bit. Why can't I refresh this page? Okay. Is this fun? Are you guys having fun? Me trying to navigate this page? Okay. Coinbase inadvertently earned $1 million due to a hack, but hasn't reimbursed victims. Coinbase received 570 ETH, the second largest payout tied to an MEV Ethereum in Ethereum's history, to process transactions related to the Curve exploit. I mean, what are they going to do? Who are they going to give it to? All right, but should we click on that? Do you guys care? The 73 million Curve exploit in July briefly pushed prices on the DeFi platform out of whack, and a trading bot paid 570 ETH to ensure it could take advantage of that once-in-a-lifetime arbitrage opportunity. The Ethereum validator that received that payment was apparently run by Coinbase, making it an unwitting beneficiary of the incident. Exploit victim Alchemix reached out to Coinbase to seek a refund for victims, but the crypto exchange has evidently not turned over the money. All right, we're not going to get into MEV and whether they should or shouldn't return it. That's just not all that interesting to me. Sorry, guys. BitGo Swan to form Bitcoin-only trust company. Okay. Altcoins lead gains, and Deutsche Bank to explore tokenization. Everybody's exploring tokenization. Real-world assets. Bitcoin bounce puts altcoin bears at risk. Bitcoin US not playing. Let's see. This is a new article. I haven't read it. God, this site is. I had to turn off my ad blocker. Maybe have to turn that back on. Jeez Louise. Okay, Binance US not playing ball with probe, SEC says, as focus turns to custody arm Sifu. Securities regulators have complained the exchange is unregistered and worry about assets being shifted overseas. Binance US continues to rely on a custody provider provided by the company's international arm in violation of a previous deal, the SEC says. The crypto exchange says clients' assets are safe and that regulators are merely engaged on a futile fishing expedition. Federal U.S. regulators worry the crypto exchange's use of Sifu, a custody service offered by Binance's international arm, violates a previous deal intended to stop assets being squirreled overseas. Binance U.S. holding company known as BAM has provided only approximately 220 documents, many that consist of unintelligible screenshots and documents without dates or signatures. The limited discovery BAM has provided to date raises questions about whether defendants are in violation of the consent order. Okay. In previous September 12th filing, Binance US called the regulators' concerns over Sifu much ado about nothing, and its demand for more documents a futile fishing expedition. Okay. There we go. So that's that. All right, let's go to CoinMarketCap. Let's check out the prices. Bitcoin, like I said, pushing down just a touch. I think we're wanting to stay above 26, like 5 something. So we're a little below where I'm seeing all the guys say they want to be above. Ethereum's around 1600. The volume is very low. Yeah. XRP living right around 50 cents. What else we got? Solana living right around $19. Polkadot, $4.10. That seems like it's got pounded recently, more so than others, which I feel some. I can feel it. Hedera is at 5 cents. Mickey Mantle. Anybody have a Mickey Mantle rookie card? Anybody else grow up knowing that the Mickey Mantle rookie card was like the grail in baseball cards? Algorand, 9 cents. 9 cents with a 3 next to it. So almost 9.5 cents. There we go. Okay, not all that interesting. Let's see how Algo's doing compared to Bitcoin. Bringing up that altcoin statement that they were talking about. And, there's some truth to that, isn't there? We got Algo gaining on Bitcoin. I'm sure we see that across the board with other altcoins up a little over 1%. And then you see all the red for all time. But today, it's up over 1%. Should we see how ETH is doing? Okay, that's not exactly how I wanted to see it, but it looks like it's down, up a little bit today. All right, let's move on. You guys are seeing all this crap, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Fear and greed. You guys feel it? We're in fear. We're now in fear. Yesterday we were in fear. Last week we were in fear. Last month we were neutral. This month we're in fear. Feels right. That feels about right. Okay, let's just dive in. So let's talk about Binance a little bit. Binance. What's going on? I don't want to share this. Get the fuck off my... Get off my screen. Okay, good. Okay. Sorry. Phantom Wallet wanted to pop up. Phantom Wallet, Sol. All right. Binance US legal executive chief risk officer leaves exchange. Wall Street Journal. Okay. Krishna Juvadi, head of legal at Binance US, is departing the exchange. Sydney Mahala, chief risk officer, is also leaving the company. Binance US is losing additional executives as pressure mounts from regulators. Krishna, head of legal, and Sydney, chief risk officer, are leaving the exchange. Okay. This comes just days after the head of Binance US, Brian Schroeder, left the firm with a third of its staff laid off. The exchange has scaled back operations following the SEC's lawsuit against Binance, filed in June. The SEC's aggressive attempts to cripple our industry and the resulting impacts on our businesses have real-world consequences for American jobs and innovation, and this is an unfortunate example of that, a spokesman told The Block. Juvadi joined Binance US in May 2022 from Uber, where he served as global head of operations and compliance. He also worked for the U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division as a trial attorney earlier in his career. Mahala joined Binance US in 2021 and previously chief compliance officer at Intel. trouble with the SEC. We allege that Zhao and Binance entities not only knew the rules of the road, but they also consciously chose to evade them and put their customers and investors at risk, all in an effort to maximize their own profit. That was in June that they said that. All right. Then it gets a little weirder. Let's dive in a little bit. Let's go here. So, I mean, look, I'm on Twitter accounts. Most of this stuff seems accurate, but take everything with a grain of salt. This is an account that loves to follow Binance. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But let's see what's happening here. Binance US still didn't provide any info about deposits, trades, transfers, or withdrawals, and the SEC again questions if they even have enough funds for customers. It was a complete bucket shop. They don't have the accounting records to provide. Funds are safe-oo. Funds are safe-oo, la la. So, I mean, you can look at the documents real quick. Accordingly, the SEC continues to seek critical financial information from BAM to assess whether it possesses assets to satisfy customer liabilities. The SEC sought certain BAM accounting documents and financial information relating to customer assets, including, as relevant here, BAM's general ledgers that track deposits, trading, transfers, and withdrawals, certain bank account opening documents, including for new accounts within the past few months, and documents sufficient to show authorized signatories on key financial accounts, trial balances, detailed monthly financial statements, documents concerning the reconciliation performed between the accounting ledgers and the newly created wallet addresses that would show the movement of the customer's crypto assets. To date, BAM has failed to produce information responsive to these RFPs. RIP. Okay, where was... So then we got that, right? And so there's just a bunch of stuff about Binance. And then there's also this whole... Now, Tether is also in a world hurt. Should we go to Tether first? Because there's been a ton of Tether redemptions. I think there was something like 70 to 90 million. We saw this. I tweeted this. FYI, Tether is trading at 90 cents in the Chinese OTC markets, over 29,000 per Bitcoin. They're racing to unload Tether. That's another thing that I don't think is often discussed, is that redeeming Tether is going to put upward pressure on Bitcoin in a lot of different ways, or if people are exiting really fast. Gold trading several percent above Western markets. BTC is at plus 10% and higher. Chinese know something bad is coming for their markets and are smart enough to know how it will hurt USDT. That's funny. Pro tip: when using decentralized lending platforms, always borrow the stablecoin you think is most likely to lose peg. That way, it's a successful short if it happens, and you can repay at a lower cost. It's funny. It's actually not terrible advice. If you're gonna borrow, stables, you might as well borrow USDT, make your purchase, and then hopefully it'll be free. You don't have to pay it back. Crazy. All right. But what I do want to do is, okay, I thought I had, okay, shit. I was all excited, and right now we are in a world of me trying to find what I was going to talk about. How did all of this? Okay. Well, this is fine. Let's just talk. This article came out yesterday from Protos. It's a crypto site. I don't know if you guys check it. I don't check it often on the show, but it seems to be pretty darn legit. They're fair. I think they do actual journalism. Tether executives have brushed shoulders with crime since its inception. So when you see these types of articles popping up, it's usually because something's coming, guys. Researchers have revealed what they allege is a history of Tether's numerous ties to various types of criminal activity. And while it must be stressed that to date, no U.S. Law enforcement agency has charged Tether or any of its current executives with any crime, investigators claim that these ties have existed since the company's inception. Among the firm's links to potentially shady, albeit not always strictly illegal activity, or repeated promises to have its reserves professionally audited, but they never do. Also, the company sending 36.6 billion USDT to Alameda Research. Its founders currently, and Bitfinex founder Raphael Nicole's defense of Trendon Shaver's Ponzi scheme. Links to more serious criminal activity include Tether's co-founder Brock Pierce living with Mark Collins Rector in Spain in a house that also contains significant amounts of child porn. Pierce denied all knowledge of these crimes. Okay, that's kind of a stretch. He may not know what his person he's living with is looking at, you would hope. Giancarlo Divasini worked with alleged tax dodger. Look, I could read this, but if you want to, it's on protos.com. And it just does really kind of break down in a disturbing way a lot of connections that probably garnered the attention of the U.S. authorities. Got caught in 1996 selling fake Microsoft. Tether is the largest stablecoin owned by Ifinex, which also operates Bitfinex. As such, it's a very important pillar underlying the crypto ecosystem. We mapped previous employment relationships of Bitfinex, Tether's CXOs, and it shows a large network of financial fraud. Tether COOs links to alleged thief. Tether CEO was also linked to the VAT fraud firm. Paolo Ardino, just 3 steps from Gaddafi's inner circle. Accepting money from organized crime rings. He's also associated with Walter Caruso. So this is a lot of it is like, how close are these people? But they are all in the world of Tether. So the main point isn't to sit here and FUD Tether with all of these accusations. The main point is that when you see an article like this, something's coming. So is Tether linked to organized crime? Let's just read the end. Despite their many connections to criminals throughout history, Tether executives naturally deny and have never been officially implicated in any organized crime activity. They point out that these connections don't involve Tether Limited or USDT, but instead relate to non-Tether related individual dealings of individuals. It's possible that Tether either got unlucky in his choices of business partners or didn't care about their possible connections to mafia-style crime rings like however you say that, Ndrangheta. Investigations into any connection between Tether executives and organized crimes often hit dead ends, as Bloomberg journalist Zeke Foe learned when he tried to track down details on Platone's VAT fraud scheme and Divasini's possible involvement. Foe has released details of his Tether investigation as well as other crypto scams in his new book, Number Go Up. So there's a little book plug for you guys. Little book plug. So now let's kind of dive in to some of this China stuff. This is another guy that kind of is often on the case for, all the scams, but it's been around for a while. Is this the old one? This might be the old one. Yeah, this is from July. So Wan Zhang, have you guys heard of this? So they're the people behind Prometheum, the exchange that is like getting their hands held towards compliance, but they really can't trade or do anything because whatever. But they're supposed to be this poster child for how you can register with the SEC. Now, I'm assuming most of this is true. You guys can push back on it if you want in the comments. But so if Wang Zhang, who set up ETH Foundation and Vitalik's wallets, along with several other VCs on chain and Huobi exchange addresses, is also Yumbi Pieto. And Yumbi Pieto is who created Binance Dev Wallets. And Yumbi Pieto was a black box exchange used to create other exchanges. And Binance offers a black box exchange used to create other exchanges. And Binance setup originally funded Crypto.com, Coinbase, MEXC, Blockfolio, etc. Is it too far of a reach to say that these are all basically entities originally set up by the CCP through Wang Zhang, including ETH, Vitalik, Binance, Yumbi, Pietio? I mean, this seems like a stretch. I don't think it is. So I do think that's too far, but who knows? I don't think it is. Getting everyone else to see and understand it is a bookload of work, though it's all sitting there on chain. It all goes back to the beginning. I've said from the beginning, before I was wise on chain, it seems like the same ones building crypto are the same ones wrecking it. One massive game of hot potato through storytelling. How much corruption exists? We have the head of the SEC teaching a false history at MIT, ignoring the Chinese's involvement, the same very ones in control over everything within Ether, BNB, and many other blockchains. How much corruption exists? Do the answers start at the foundation of Ethereum? Is Ethereum ground zero? If I can solve this puzzle with the help of a few, why can't global governments? Why can't the CFTC or SEC or TRM Labs or any other protector? The biggest, most corrupt Ponzi in the world. And this is from January. We'll just go back one more. I've spent some time today tracing Binance internal wallets. The oldest of the wallets takes me to a network of wallets set up, controlled by the same founders of Yumbi, created from Pieto Exchange. Pieto is a black box exchange that shares all the different exchanges. Okay, great. And then we'll move real quick to this same dude. In Prometheum's filings, and this is more current. So we see that Wang Zhang had its hands in the beginnings of Ethereum, apparently, and the other things that we just read. And the company Prometheum uses Wang Zhang CCP as their sole project developer and relies on Wang Zhang's ability to create and maintain a successful platform. The loss of the services of Wang Zhang could have a material adverse effect on the ability of the company to develop, operate, or maintain the Prometheum network. If the company were to lose the services of Wang Zhang, it could be difficult or impossible to replace them. TLDR, Prometheum is a shell of Wang Zhang used to get approval and access to U.S. markets and U.S. consumers' most private and sensitive information. This opens up Prometheum, Wang Zhang, and the CCP have legal direct access to Americans' social security numbers, driver's license, passport numbers, and banking information. Gary Gensler, FINRA, SEC gave the loan special dealer broker license to a company that is heavily backed financially by deeply connected with CCP, Wang Zhang, 100% entirely dependent upon CCP, Wang Zhang creating, managing, and running the product for Prometheum, controlled by Wang Zhang, who is involved in billions of dollars of fraud and theft, who owns the domain killtrump.eth and killtrump.crypto, where today you could send money to and Prometheum would receive it. Killtrump.eth, send something to that, and Prometheum gets the crypto. Yet we sit here today and still squadoosh. This guy's got quite the vernacular. Skadoosh has changed outside of meetings being held and games being played. While Gary Gensler was under oath yesterday, not one person from the committee a committee on CCP was in attendance to drill him. While JD Vance did a great job, he should have been one of 50 pressing Gary Gensler bit by bit. Instead, the committee on CCP held their own meeting and bit by bit learned about how to handle the CCP's invasive nature by fielding responses. Reminder, this is who Gary Gensler gave the Loan Digital Assets Special Dealer Broker license to. On their homepage, they state Wang Zhang America Corporation, the United States Incorporated offices of Wang Zhang. Interesting. Crypto is just Wall Street 2.0. Yes, but controlled by the CCP and without the same protections. Gangsta. Now we all have to share this, and if we don't really care about how to build this all fair. It's pretty disturbing, right? And then there's more. How about this? I am not. Let's get rid of that. So we see Gary is giving a free pass to a Chinese-backed entity. And look at this. Look at this article. It's from the National Review. I think this is from when? August. So pretty recent. House Committee. BlackRock has funneled over $429 million to blacklisted Chinese firms. Lawmakers are investigating BlackRock and MSCI over indexes and funds that list Chinese state-linked firms. Congressional panel has launched probes into BlackRock and Morgan Stanley, with lawmakers alleging their financial products facilitate American investment in Chinese companies that are involved in Beijing's military buildup and human rights abuses. These companies include the Chinese military-linked firms that produce artillery shells and materials for Beijing's nuclear program, a genetic surveillance firm that conducts research on ethnicities persecuted by the Chinese Communist Party, and firms that manufacture warships and aircraft for the People's Liberation Army. It is unconscionable for any U.S. company to profit from investments that fuel the military advancement of America's foremost foreign adversary and facilitate human rights abuses. Americans are now unwittingly funding PRC companies that develop and build weapons for the People's Liberation Army, the PRC's military, and advance the CCP's stated mission of technological supremacy. The two U.S. financial powerhouses, BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, and Morgan Stanley provides stock indexes, have directed hundreds of millions of dollars of their clients' funds to these blacklisted Chinese firms. The House panel said after conducting an analysis, blah, blah, blah. In statements on Tuesday, spokesmen for the firms emphasized that they are engaged in unlawful behavior. But with growing awareness of Chinese military aggression and the atrocities that it's committed against ethnic minorities, these practices are getting a second look. The private sector is if not the battleground for today's great power competition with China. And right now, the U.S. private sector risks not only not competing effectively with China, but in fact, fueling Beijing's offensive. Any effort to address that has to start with capital markets. Across 5 China-related funds that the committee staff investigated, BlackRock has invested over $429 million in more than 20 different entities on U.S. government blacklists. They also found that 5 MSCI indexes altogether include more than 40 blacklisted firms, while BlackRock firms included more than 20. Notably, one of these firms is BGI Genomics, a genetic research company that the U.S. has placed on several of its blacklists for its role in atrocities committed against ethnic Uyghurs in Xinjiang. BGI has also carried out a surreptitious, oh man, come on, National Review. Give me a break. Give me a pause on the big words. Surreptitious. I should know how to say that word. It's early, guys. Gene harvesting program through prenatal tests offered worldwide. Its experiments have used a military supercomputer to single out genes from Tibetan and Uyghur women and use monkeys to study the effects of altitude sickness in conjunction with the PL. I mean, this is just whatever. It's not whatever. It's just creepy. Another Chinese firm included in BlackRock funds and MSI is a subsidiary of the China Nuclear Power Group. U.S. capital is feeding Beijing's technological development, surveillance state, military modernization, and efforts to hollow out the American industrial base. Okay, so my point is that Wang Zhang isn't the only person helping the CCP. Our buddies at BlackRock are also. Because if you bet on the Chinese military and you bet on the U.S. military, you can't lose. You can't lose when you have no allegiance. Gary's favorite, BlackRock and Wang Zhang. Special pass for Prometheum. Like, what is happening? It was weird. Has the NSA invented Bitcoin? 1996 paper titled How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electronic Cash. Look at that. And the sources include Tatsuaki Okamoto. And they invented SHA-256. So Let's just look real quick. How to make a mint, the cryptography of anonymous electronic cash. This research essay was prepared by NSA employees in furtherance of the study of cryptography. And then right here, a bunch of sources for Tatsuaki Okamoto. Obviously, the author of this tweet is saying, that's funny. I wonder if Tatsuaki Okamoto could be the same as Satoshi Nakamoto. Who knows? Interesting, though. Why would the NSA deliver suboptimal code, which included a broken game of poker and a peer-to-peer marketplace in version 0.1? Satoshi only found a solution to the double spending problem. He clearly wasn't a professional coder and required the assistance of other developers who joined the project later. All right. Okay, how about do you guys want to talk a little bit real quick? Is there anything else that I wanted to say? There was more that I wanted to say, and I'm not seeing it. But anyways, I got to say, it's troubling for sure about, somebody like Gary Gensler and where his allegiance lies. It doesn't feel like it's with the, let's just say, it doesn't feel like his best interests are for the common American. All right. Okay, so there was a big event in Singapore, Token 2049. John Woods, the CTO of the Algorand Foundation, he came out and he made some announcements. So why don't we let's go to the Algorand announcements. So Algorand, the Algorand protocol is evolving to a peer-to-peer gossip network, not requiring relays, while maintaining finality and block time and introducing consensus incentivization, a game changer toward true decentralization. There we go. You guys, what time is it? 7:19. So I got to go soon. So I guess we won't watch John. But here we go. So if you are not up to speed about Algorand, it has claimed from the beginning to solve the blockchain trilemma, which I'm sure you guys all know is security and scalability and scalability and decentralization. And a lot of people would push back saying, well, you know what? Relay nodes are permissioned. And there's like 120 of them or something. There's a lot of relay nodes, but they say that they're permissioned, which can, relay nodes propagate the blocks. And then, it can be turned off if there was enough pressure, right? Which actually Algorand, in fact, pushes back on, and saying that is not a reasonable critique. But it seems like they are saying, okay, fine. We're actually going to make sure that nothing can happen and nothing can be shut down. We're going to make this a peer-to-peer gossip network, which is going to make the participation nodes, the smaller nodes that are pretty easy to run, be able to run. And it's going to be a choice. You can use the relay infrastructure if you're an institution and you need to push out a bunch of transactions super, super fast. Or you can use the peer-to-peer gossip network, which might be a touch slower, but it's more decentralized. I find this to be great news for Algorand. It's got me excited about it. And it also got a critic that I've had on the show, Justin Bonds. And he said Algorand just announced how they will remove relays. This is a big deal and a real commitment to decentralization. I criticized the relay nodes and suggested changes. Removing them works as well. I wonder how this affects TPS. The trade-off is worth it either way. Welcome to the club. And then Gary Maloof, the new CTO over at Algorand Inc., with a Crazy Goose Flock profile picture. Justin, what if the relays became optional components? So, they're engaging with them. And then he says, well, if the gossip network can bypass the relay nodes, it should be fine, as that means relay nodes cannot gatekeep anymore. The scenario that concerns me is when it starts looking more like XRP, where disagreement has so high a cost that everyone has to use a permission node list. What do they say to that? The intent is to remove the optics and any outstanding perception of that. To be clear, they do not gatekeep now, but this hopefully removes all doubt. Justin will absolutely never admit he was technically wrong about the gatekeeping aspect. Okay, go. We are making the shift to directly address the perception concerns. It does matter. For a long time, as many will recall, the battle seemed to be more heavily weighed towards performance and scale at whatever cost. This revamped vision is an acknowledgement that while scalability and low sustainable fees continue to be important, the ethos of blockchain is decentralization. I appreciate that. I agree with you when it comes to ideals. Okay, I know that my understanding is it will be a dual layer system. You can either choose, this is Governor Hat, friend of the show. You can choose either or method, so the network cannot be censored, but it also keeps all the scaling benefits with no appreciable impact in speed or throughput. Of course, Ja or Loden would know better. This is our plan. Relay nodes become optional components that folks choose to involve. Where did John go? I'll let Big Chief John Allen Wood's words speak for themselves. I'll only add that the next 3 months will be game-changing. Come on, Loden. Feeding it to me. Spoon-feeding me that hopium. I swear, like, Twitter is not better. Come on, Elon. There's more spam. Like, it's harder to navigate. Like, all this bullshit. But I know John chimed in and he broke it down. Well, anyways, it is a tiered system. The relay infrastructure will be a touch faster than the peer-to-peer infrastructure, but they're saying that the relay infrastructure is going to be sub 3 seconds and the peer-to-peer should be about what it is right now. And if you use Algorand, you know that it is very fast. Oh, that's funny. No, I did it. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop looking. More decentralization. All right, let's go back to the thing. Let's see if you guys are still here. Yeah, there's somebody here. Cool. Let's look at the comments, and then I'm going to go take my kids to school. What are you guys laughing about? Uh-oh. I see lots of smiley faces. What did I do wrong? Or maybe you guys are just having fun. That's okay, too. All right. I'm bullish as fuck. Look at that. Look at that. There's some vibe in here. Good to hear. Living the dream. Okay. Good morning, Chris. Yada, yada. Good to hear. I'm going to have to skip some of this. Those numbers are a little painful. Okay, Michael Norris is feeling, I'm not too fearful either. I'm bullish as fuck. Hello? Okay, hold on. Is he sharing the wrong screen? Am I? And that if I was, it wasn't. I mean, I couldn't be sharing. Maybe I was. Okay, that's probably what happened. Cathal, I feel a real buzz in Algorand the last few days. No idea what is going on, but I am ready for some good news. It sounds like, well, John just said, or somebody just said, Gary just said, the next 3 months are going to be exciting. Has some promising announcements. Good morning. There's the hat came in. Le Hat Angel, doing his thing. AlgoKit 2.0 and the Gossip Network sound fire for the future. Yes, sir. We love you, Coop. Thank you. Love you back, IRL. Indeed, Mort and incentivized consensus should also help to get more accounts committed. There we go. Mort, I'm going to set up a node 100%. It's still a little complicated to set up a node, though, for most regular folk. Yeah, but one-click nodes probably, I'm sure that there isn't a tutorial out there if you want to run a node, which I do. And I have a little mini PC coming. So I'm going to start doing stuff like that. Kevin, well, the way it is to be set up today definitely goes over my head. There you go. Once incentivized consensus, you'll figure it out, I think. Even if you don't think you can, I'd recommend trying to set up a node. All right, so we're having big node talk. All right. Breathe in, out 3 times deeply. Then reading goes better. Thank you. I'm also, I'm trying to speed along because I understand that reading can get boring. Algorand has never been shutting down, zero downtime. That's true. Oh, that's cool. So it seems like at 3 o'clock or 6 p.m. Eastern, Angel and his crew are going to be doing this TPS test. So I think that's going to be fun. Mrs. Fern says share screen or else. Okay. The big thing is liquidity needs to flow into Algorand. How is this planned to happen? Liquidity brings pumpy pump. There you go. Pumpy pumpy. Pumpy pumpy times. Oh. $860. All right. I'm losing people because I'm just staring at the comments. All right, folks. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next week. Make sure you tune in to my Twitter Spaces on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We talk about Algorand over there. I'll be doing some interviews next week. Those are to be announced. And I'll be back on Friday for sure for this show. Anything else? Follow me on Twitter at Coop_Daniels. Subscribe, like this video. Let's do all the things that help it pumpy, like whoever said earlier. Let's pumpy this show. All right, folks. We'll get better. We'll keep going. I appreciate you. I'll see you on Twitter, and have a great weekend. Happy Friday.